Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned Albino plays Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy. Finally, after however long of waiting and stuff. By the way, there's save slots is like all 3 games in one per slot. Which, I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure that I'm on board with that. Because it limits flexibility. But as you can see, I've played it for like an hour so far. I just wanted to, like, at 9 p.m. when it came out, I just wanted to show it to my girlfriend and try and make her buy it. Because I want her to get it. Because I know she'll love it. But she's, like, been resisting me, mostly because I've been trying to cram it down her face. So I've kind of ruined it for her a little bit. But we'll get past that. My impressions, now that I've played it for an hour, are very positive. You know, there's nitpicks, of course, there always will be. But, you know, we'll get those as we see them. As for right now, let's watch the opening intro cutscene.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the 5 worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have...
You know, Spyro's in the background now for some reason. Just, it's not a very professional interview setting, shall we say. This is like when there's reporters and then people behind the reporters like put the bunny ears above them or something. Or like they flip off the camera. Oh, they made Nasty Nork uglier. I didn't know it was possible, but they did. It's just one of those examples of details like not being good or always necessarily better. He's gross. Yeah. Hit him with a spell that conveniently only affects dragons that aren't Spyro. Why doesn't he get hit? Is there lore? Like, is this lore that his beam ray doesn't... It's like a puberty thing, like it detects puberty, and if you don't have puberty... Look how slippery this is, by the way. Look at this. Like, if you barely touch it, it's like you're on ice. Which is, I'm not saying it was a positive or negative, it's just interesting. I still wish they had, like, the emerald platforms that were, like, bright light green. Those looked awesome. Now they're just kind of plain. And it's kind of nothing.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
You can tell me so much more if you really wanted to. So, all the dragons are different now. They're all original designs. Some of them still say thank you for releasing me, which is good. You wanted some of that back. Because, A, there's only so many tool tips you can give people. Can you just... There you go. I just torched Santa, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't coming down your chimney this year. Let's talk about the controls. Because, okay, I want to see if I can demonstrate this here. I can, I think. Like, you see how, like, if you approach a wall at an angle, you will not hit it. You can, like, travel down it when you're charging. Like, look at this. You couldn't do this in the original. You would have bounced your head against the wall. This is awesome. This is a fantastic change, improvement. That's, well, I mean, I did a head-on that time, but, like, that's terrific. That is so helpful, especially when you're, like, curving through walls trying to chase a thief or something like that. Like, so it's good that you just don't... It's so much smoother. That's great. Here's another thing. People had misinformation about this. Spyro's charge jump height is just as high as it is in the second and third games now. It's across all things, and you can actually use this to cheese certain areas I've found, which is very nifty. Like that one dragon in Dry Canyon, now you can get that a lot easier. Because if you just do a charge and then like glide like that, you can get it. The Carbonite itself looks a lot better now.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
I mean, I know it's not, like, actually carbonite, but
You have much to learn.
that's what I call it.
Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
He's getting bitches. That's what he's doing. Sparks is a chick magnet. Definitely a chicken magnet. At least with, like, the butterflies inside of it. So, yeah. The controls are better in this. Pretty much across the board. It's more responsive and, like, you know, just... You can do this. Like, this, you couldn't do this in the original. You would, like, be forced into a direction. It would be more like this. Like that. But, like, you can just... It's very much quite more responsive, which is nice. That's a big positive I give this. You know, I didn't know how it was going to control. That was like one of the only things that you couldn't really tell from watching. You have to actually do it. And so that's great. Yeah, so yeah, you do the charge, jump, glide. You can do that just like you were doing it in the second and third original games. You do it in here, and it works. Another thing I noticed is platform ledges are very generous. So like when you're charging off, so like let's do this for instance. Like look at that. I was off that thing before I jumped. You can jump super late off these and still like get height, which is also pretty nice. The first time I discovered that, I forgot to jump off a ledge, and like while I was in midair, it still let me jump, and I was like, that's forgiving, I suppose. Thanks. That's not a bad thing. But yeah, if I sound tired, it's because it's only 10:40 p.m. This game's only been out for like an hour and a half. But for some reason, like, my eyes hurt and my voice is shot. And it's like, but this is my only time to play Spyro, or to record it. Because tomorrow I leave to go to Montana to go visit my damn girlfriend. It was pretty much purely just an obstacle in the way of me playing Spyro now. Like, I'm thinking about reevaluating my priorities here. But yeah, so like I gotta play what I can and record what I can, because I won't get another chance to until Sunday. It's Monday right now. Monday night. So I'm gonna do what I can. I want to record as many episodes as possible. Probably like upload them all at the same time before I leave. And then maybe you won't miss me as much while I'm gone.
When he eats butterflies, he stays strong, like me.
Oh, this dude's got a septum piercing. Or, what are those things called? When it's like a minotaur ring? Like, what are those called on actual people? I just call them minotaur rings on actual people, because, like, I dated someone once who had one of those. And it's like, if you're a midget and you put your finger in there, you can just kind of lead them by the nose. I don't suggest trying it. I'm just saying, like, conceptually, that's an option for you. Yes. Charging is a bit less rigid. You can, you know, turn... It's not as so much that you can turn sharper, because you can't. But there's just a bit more fluidity to it. Like I said, the controls all around, way more responsive. Smooth, fluid. All the buzzwords that make you go, ooh, that's good.
Step on one of the platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
What are you, a clockmaker? All the dragons in the artisan world, they gave them like artist-based themes. Which, you know, sure. Trying to sort of establish the lore a little bit more than it is usually, which is fine. Yeah, go for it. No one's bothered by that. I missed. That was a pretty successful hitbox, by the way. Now that I think about it. That I managed to skate right past him and not hit. That was something I was worried about. I have not... Like, my biggest fear with Spyro was hitboxes. And I have not run into a bad hitbox yet. So perhaps it's alleviated.
After you've freed all the dragons fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But
Yo,
first,
this dude's
let
straight
me
up
tell
naked.
you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
Some of the dragons wear clothes in this, which is like, if they know clothes, then like, why are some of them just straight up nude? They're just in the nude. Especially that old dude. Like, the older you get, the more you want to not be nude in front of other people. I'd say is a pretty solid rule. Which means Spyro's also new, but he's a child, so we're basically watching child porn right now. Just every time the camera's like trained on his ass, because that's the viewpoint they gave us. I didn't do it. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Yeah, you know, there's leaves a lot of questions in the dragon world of like customs and culture and why it's very inconsistent. Because, you know, there were dudes wearing battle armor, dudes wearing togas, like short shorts, a belt. But then some of them are just buck naked and having the time of their lives, and nobody seems to care. I mean, they don't have genitals, so maybe it's that.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
You think if humans didn't have genitalia, that, like, you could just walk around naked and no one would care? And, like, you could post pictures and, like, there wouldn't be porn because because nobody would like that. It would just be normal. You know? I mean, you can tell it's late at night while I'm recording this because I just asked that fucking question. You know, just a normal question people ask during the wee hours of the night. You know, like, what if we didn't have penises? How would the world be? How would people react to seeing our smooth crotches? They'd just be like, oh yeah, that's natural. Nothing to see here. I don't know. If you're new and, like, you searched Spyro Reignited Trilogy and was like, you know, I'm looking for a playthrough to watch, I'm not sure if you came to the right place or not. You'll have to decide that for yourself. But there's gonna be a lot more of that, so your mileage may vary in your enjoyment, I suppose. Alright, I had a hell of a time finding all the treasure in this level the last time I played it. But I will do better this time. This is a invisible wall, and it's not a cool one, because I should so be able to get up there. They're like arbitrarily just, you don't want to go up there. You might think you want to. Oh, that's interesting. That's something. Yeah, I got that. I think we went around and did everything up here. So now here... Do we have all the dragons? Yes. Give me the key. Ooh, it's an illustrious looking key, too. But yeah. So now what? Oh yeah, back down the well. You know, they have like a setting for, if you want to just hear the old music tracks, they have those. But they don't have a setting for old sound effects, which is what I miss more than the music, I'd say. Just some of those just really hit the sweet spots. Like the when you crash into a thing. It was much louder, much more satisfying when you break one of the armored chests. But that's fine. Okay, I was missing 3 gems before That's right, I know where they are. It's the exact same 3 gems that were the last to get last time I did it. That's fine. Great. I'm used to it now. Like the sound he makes when he charges, it's much higher pitched and sounds skittery. It's like an insect, like on water, is what it... Like, it sounds like a tiny, tiny animal running through puddles. Not like the pitter-patter of his original feet when he's charging. I've gotten used to it, it's fine. It used to bug me. It doesn't bug me anymore. Probably most of the things that bug you are initially, when you were like looking at footage of this game, are probably gonna go away. Oh yeah, you can control yourself mid-flight during the loading scenes. That's how they cover the fact that they decided to make it super boring otherwise, by not including music. Not that there was music in the original, because there wasn't, but they made the wind sound effects really loud, so it just sort of even more heightens the fact that there's not music. And I don't like it. I wish they would go all or nothing. Like, either there's no music, no sound effects, or put music in there also, in the loading screens.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
Oh, I would never be afraid of that. Look at that. This has a hitbox. This has a charge hitbox now. See that? You know what else has a charge hitbox? A BAM! That's domestic violence. Let's do it again. Oh, this video is gonna get flagged now. Why is that a thing? Just in case you want to take your rage out on the fairies. Because what are they doing besides saving your progress? The most important thing they could be doing. But yeah, lots of neat little non-obvious new quirks to the game design. Like some of the ones I mentioned. I'm sure we'll find more as we go along. It's gonna be a grand old journey. I hope you'll stick around if you're new. Make Sunburned Albino your one-stop shop for Spyro Reignited Trilogy playthroughs. God knows I'm good for it. You know, yeah, like look at, I can do this. You can flame. You can flap your wings by pressing X. Which, you know, all of this is inconsequential. It's kind of cool, but also... I also miss how the treasure doesn't flow out of Spyro's body into the counter at the bottom. Like it used to. That was just so fun, satisfying to watch. Just see all your accumulated treasures spill out of your butthole and go in to the thing. That was nice. I always appreciated that. But now it's gone. Add it to the graveyard.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro. Begin exploring by gliding to that area with the bulls. Use the right stick to get a good look.
Yeah, see, they're all sculpting. All these dragons are artists. They're all starving artists. Some of them even, like, they do culinary stuff, and, like, they consider that a thing. Like, one of these dragons is a chef now. And, like, he still does the winded joke, like, run, run, I'm getting a little winded. Except he's not fat anymore, so it doesn't make sense for him to say that. You'll see. It's not this one, but it's coming up. I have so many questions about this dude in particular.
I have the worst itch on the tip of my wing. Did you know that you get your longest glides by pressing...
When did you find the time to bake a cake out of prophecy? Like, did you do that inside your statue? How did you know I was the one that was gonna come save you? Are you working with Nasty Nork? Are you some kind of traitor? Dude, false flag operation. That guy is a spy for the orcs. He baked a cake that said, "Thanks, Spyro," in anticipation of being turned into carbonite and knowing that I was the only one who would survive it. There are so many inconsistencies in just that one dragon. Like, he's kind of turned the whole plot on its head. But here comes no longer fat dragon, still wheezing.
Spyro, did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg. You've got to track him down and get that egg. Run, run! I'm getting a little winded.
What are you talking about? You're of average build. No one's that out of shape without being morbidly obese. I'm getting a little winded. That's what he used to sound like. Oh, the good old days. Not that these days aren't good, but they're not old. The good old days are good and old. It's just technically better. Because it's more adjectives. Oh yeah, caught you midair. How do you feel about that? I'm so glad to be playing Spyro, though. You have no idea. Well, you probably do, because if you're playing Spyro right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you have to, like, wait for Spyro, if you're, like, somebody who needs, you know... Like, if you're... if you just, like, don't have the money, or, like, you're somebody who waits for, like, Christmas or something. Then you definitely know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, I need to live vicariously through all the YouTubers I watch play this. You have a pig nose, and it doesn't work with the rest of your body. You're some kind of griffin, some kind of chimeran... chimera. What am I missing? I'm missing 2 gems? Where are they? How could this happen? Where do they go? This is unacceptable. Is it 1... green gem or 2 red gems? This is a travesty and it will not stand. Did I just see a box? No, it was my imagination. I do start to like hallucinate around 2 a.m. But, you know, it's not 2 a.m. yet. I'm still doing alright. Oh, there it is. Of course, I was busy chasing the egg thief. Indeed. Alright, where's the portal? Can you just like, can you exit the level when you have everything, and will it save? I'm terrified to try and see if it will. I'm also very upset that I fell. I'm gonna try it. That seems like it. Well, that's very good to know. Alright, town square is done. Got 3 more levels to go if you count the speedway. My throat is burning! This is unacceptable. Let's do the, I'm very, excuse me. Excuse me, die. I'm actually a little weirded out by this level now. Because they did something with it that I didn't know. Like, what it's called, oh yeah, it's called Dark Hollow. And now there's, it's better if you just see it. And it's not, like, intrusive or anything, it's just, like, this is one of the first levels I've seen that is, like, visually, thematically, radically different. Not in terms of layout or even design, but they just added a thing, a set of things, a series of things. You know, I don't want to spoil levels before I get into them. So I resist the urge. Yeah, this. What is this and why is it here? Well, I know what it is. I'm not stupid. But since when is this just a library? See, there's another bookshelf over there. Like, they made this a library. And I mean, I'm not saying that, like, there shouldn't be a library. It makes sense that in a world of artists, there's books, I guess. But, like, I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there definitely were not books, libraries in the original. And I just played the original like 3 days ago, so.
Oh, it's you. I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures. Of course they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Their metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
Okay, mister, I only wear one contact lens and the other one's a monocle. I will take your word for whatever you just said. I have the volume on my TV pretty low. How embarrassing for me. Oh, here's a guaranteed trophy, by the way. I mean, I already got it. But yeah, you just light those 2 campfires and you get it. Nope. See you later. I'll probably end the episode after this level. And it's not like you gotta worry about a shortage of content, because like I said, they're all coming up at the same time. You're fine. I would never deprive you guys of, you know, as much of me as you can handle, of course. It's hard to do sexy voice when you're so tired. Yes, you guys, you know what I mean.
Big enemies like this Nork with the club cannot be.
Now that's a guy who would get winded.
That should defeat them.
Also, he's ugly. That's one of the ugliest dragons we've seen so far. It's like I said in my Spyro discussion video, which if you didn't watch that, when I streamed like part of the first original game for like an hour and a half just out of frustration of not being able to play Spyro yet. You know, I was talking about a bunch of stuff about like what I expected from it and what I was worried about and like what, you know, what I thought was going down. And part of what I was talking about was that Toys for Bob is very good at making ugly-looking characters. They're real good at ugly cartoons. I mean, you've seen Skylander's Spyro. You know what that abomination looks like. The evidence is right there in front of you. So what they did is they made, like, all the enemies disgusting-looking in this game. And it makes it, you know, makes you feel less bad about flaming them and charging them. But also, like, you know, some visually appealing enemies would not go unappreciated.
Spyro, want to know a secret? Use the action button when you want to zoom in and look around. Oh, your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, that's nothing to get excited about. So we have the key. Now we go put it in the thing. This is back in the beginning, yeah. Ow. The back of my throat is dry and scorched. Kinda like Spyro kissed me. Gross. Don't. I'm gonna edit that out. No, I'm not. You know I won't. But that's gross. Level complete, suckers. Don't be jealous. Is it true? Yeah. Oh, autosaves. So nice, right? Yeah. No manual saves in Spyro 1 anymore. Feels good, man. Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you like, share, and subscribe, and whatnot. Stick around for the Reignited Trilogy in all of its glory. You know, if you watched me play through the Crash Trilogy, you got an idea of what to expect here. Except it'll be longer, because these games are way longer. But yeah. Like, share, and subscribe, and whatnot. I will see you guys next time.